We all know who Greg Norman is. He's most definitely a world-class golfer. In fact, the best one of his generation. But while fans will remember him for being a great player, we're sure that no one will ever be able to remove that tag of being tied to LIV Golf from his reputation either. And in this video, we'll talk about the net worth of LIV Golf Tour's infamous commissioner. Let's get started. So, here's how much Norman is worth. You can underestimate him all you want, but Greg has the money we can only dream of. He's the CEO of the Saudi-backed golf series, 80% of which belongs to Saudi PIF. We all know that this association is heavily involved in human rights violations and plenty of other sketchy stuff. But on top of everything, it's also famous for paying hefty amounts of money to the players who join their golf league. Now, if we notice, LIV Golf has paid hundreds of millions of dollars to the players. But what about the man who's convincing the golfers to join his league? Yes, that's right. He's been doing all the work, so he's undoubtedly getting a lot of money for that too. Apparently, the 67-year-old was offered a whopping $200 million, probably higher than what he earned throughout his golf career. But let's be honest for a second. LIV isn't the only source of income he's had. After all, he's been a champion all his life and has earned a lot of money since his first major win. Next up, he was filthy rich even before LIV. LIV Golf did add up a lot to his bank accounts and assets, but the CEO has been wealthy even before he showed his intentions of providing an alternative tour to the PGA Tour. His whole golf career tells the story of success over success, and that led him to bag a sizable approximate net worth. In 1979, when the golfer made his debut on the tour, he had a total of $14,484,458 by playing in 330 events. These events included winning the Open Championship in 1986 and 1993. The two-time Open champion also had a record of winning the most PGA Tour events until Rory McIlroy broke it. Apparently, Norman had won 90 championships worldwide and stayed at World No.1 for a total of 331 weeks. So, even if we can't guess the total amount he earned back in the day, we can surely say that he was rich from the beginning. And if he had wanted, he could have turned down the LIV Golf offer, but his dream of making an alternative golf tour might have forced him into it. Not just that, he heavily invested his money in several businesses. It's important to note that all Norman's money today doesn't entirely come from golf, because, as per the reports, the golfer is also a businessman, which means he has used the money he got from playing golf to earn more. First off, reports say that the golfer has invested significant amounts in real estate over the years, and the most prominent of these investments was the Seven Lakes Ranch in Colorado. The property was massive, and in 2021, it was reported that he had sold it for an undisclosed figure. But as per the rumors, he probably got about $40 million profit out of it. Apart from real estate, he's been investing money in private equity funds, the clothing industry, and wine production. You might have seen him wearing several designs from his clothing brand, the Greg Norman Collection. Not just that, he owns his own company too, the Greg Norman Company. He founded it back in 1993, and today it's a national corporation based in Florida. The company has made its name by representing numerous businesses, and as per the reports, it brings millions of dollars in revenue. The company has several businesses like Greg Norman Estates, Greg Norman Golf Course Design, his eyewear brand, Greg Norman Australian Prime, and Greg Norman Australian Grill under its umbrella, all owned by Norman alone, if you can't tell by the names of these businesses. Also, he loves spending money on cars. You may dislike him for joining LIV Golf, but for the car enthusiasts, he'll always be that one cool guy who's got all the best cars. In 1998, Chevrolet had announced that the PGA headliner would be leading that year's Indianapolis 500 driving a Corvette convertible, and people were shocked. Everyone was wondering why him. Little did they know that he was a car lover, and even at the time had spent a huge amount on his favorite cars. Reports have it that the golfer has spent over $5 to $6 million on cars, and what surprises us more is that we've never seen him bragging about his car collection. The exact number of cars he has is still unknown, and it's confirmed that he owns some dream cars, which is quite an asset. In the past, the golfer has owned a Ferrari Dino with wide-body flares, 2 Daytonas, a Ferrari 330, Chevrolet Tahoes, Blazers, Chevy, and Suburbans. And not so surprisingly, he has always kept more than 10 cars at a time. And in 2022, his net worth has risen up to $400 million. It was bound to happen with all his businesses and involvement with LIV Golf. Even though he was already rich, it's a fact that his wealth had grown double-fold this year. He has tarnished his own image by joining the controversial league, but if that brings him money, we think he'd be fine with it. After all, no one's taking that away from him. Throughout his career, he enjoyed attention both from the media and golfing bodies, and even today, he's considered an important person in the world of golf, so it's obvious that he cashed these moments over the years. We're not attacking him for that though. It was his job, and every golfer would do that. And now, as per a source, the golfer enjoys a net worth of about $400 million. For those who don't understand how huge this amount is, you may want to compare it with the net worth of other shining stars in golf. For example, if we look at Jack Nicklaus, he's an 18-time champion, has won over 117 professional events, and has the same net worth as Norman. So we can't really say that everything the CEO owns is a gift from the Saudis. In fact, it'd be better to say that most of his wealth comes from his business empire and some smart real estate investments. Next, in other related news, Hideki Matsuyama might be preparing to join LIV. While talking about Greg Norman, we can't really miss on the golfers he's been trying to get into LIV. At the moment, some golfers are suspected to be planning to join LIV soon. One of them is the Japanese golfer Hideki Matsuyama. Reportedly, the golfer has been offered a whopping $400 million signing-on fee. And just so you know, this amount is massive for him, because golfers like Tiger Woods could only earn barely over $100 million throughout their careers. So obviously, his chances of joining LIV are higher than anyone else. Next comes Cameron Smith. It's not like we haven't heard the news about Smith for a couple of months now. In July, the Telegraph revealed that the golfer had been offered a whopping $125 million to join the Saudi-backed golf league. However, when asked about it, Smith refused to say anything. Not just that, just a few days later, his fellow Aussie golfer Cameron Percy revealed on a radio show that Smith was gone from the tour. So even if Smith is staying tight-lipped about it, several other sources have confirmed his defection. But that's not all. Fans have started believing the reports wholeheartedly after the golfer withdrew from the BMW Championship. So let's see when he'll finally confirm it himself. Not just that, Adam Scott and Patrick Cantlay too. Well, he has other reasons to join LIV if not for money. After all, he and Greg have been close friends for a long time. We believe that it wouldn't have been difficult for the CEO to convince Scott to join this new league. He's a master champion and has been linked with Greg on Saudi payroll for a long time, and some sources have confirmed that he's lined up for the Australian LIV team. So there are chances that we'll be seeing him play at LIV tournaments in 2023. And if we talk about Cantlay, there might be a tiny chance that it's just a rumor, but he's been linked to the controversial golf league all summer after he admitted that the offer would be very tempting. But later, when asked about his plans to join LIV, the golfer somewhat rebuked his claims. At the time, he said that he had no plans to join the Saudi-funded series at the moment. Well, he didn't forget to specify that this decision can change, and in the future we might see him joining LIV. Given that, we think that when he said "at the moment," he was probably talking about the 2022 season and will be joining the new league for the next season. And with this, it's time for us to wrap this video up, fam. What are your thoughts about this video? Do let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll soon be back with more amazing videos. See you in the next one.